Hey guys, welcome to my review of BetterHelp. So about a year ago, I was fired from my job where I had worked at for 3 years, and I was extremely overwhelmed and stressed and in a bad mood most of the day. I had trouble sleeping, lost my appetite, and was constantly worried and anxious, to the point where honestly, I couldn't function normally. And so I talked to my mom for like 2 straight weeks, and she recommended that I give therapy a try. Now, at that point, I had never tried any therapy before, and it just hadn't occurred to me that therapy could even really help me. But I decided that it couldn't hurt. So I started my search with online therapy because I really didn't want to have to travel if possible. So I did a bunch of research into different online therapy platforms, and I came across a company called BetterHelp. Now, I've been making YouTube videos as a hobby for a few years now, so exploring online therapy platforms seemed like a cool new direction for me. So I ran it past my mom, and she thought it might actually be a very therapeutic way to get out some built-up anxiety that I have. So I made a series of videos on BetterHelp and some of the other online therapy platforms, and I ended up getting the attention of the people over at BetterHelp, who reached out to me and asked me to sponsor one of my videos, which was super cool. But I just wanted to mention that even though this video is being sponsored, the vast majority of my videos aren't, and I wanted to be very clear that I'm going to be giving a completely honest review. So in today's video, I'm going to talk about what I found and experienced with BetterHelp. We'll go into what they offer, how they work, some of their pros and cons, how online therapy stacks up against in-person therapy, and how much they cost. So that way, you can decide if BetterHelp is the right therapy platform for you or not. And as a plus, BetterHelp even gave me a link that gives my viewers a bit of a discount that you won't find by going straight to their website, which I left for you down in the description. So let's start by talking about what BetterHelp is. BetterHelp is an online therapy platform. Whether you're on vacation, on a business trip, or doing anything else, you can get in touch with a therapist, no matter where you are in the world. Now, they also offer group classes, which is really great if that's what you need or are looking for. Group classes lets people connect with others facing similar challenges and also gives them a safe space where they can share their experiences, feelings, and struggles. Plus, they give you written guides to help you with your therapy, which don't cost any extra money. Now, in terms of signing up, the first thing that BetterHelp does is have you fill out a basic questionnaire that asks you about your mental health history, assesses your current emotional state, and then asks you to tell them about any specific concerns you might want to let them know about. And once you've completed your questionnaire, you create an account. And based on your answers, BetterHelp will match you with a therapist that might be right for you. And they actually have a network of over 35,000 therapists. And a lot of the reviews that I read when I was doing my research mentioned how easy BetterHelp was to use and how well their website works, especially since they specifically operate online through video, phone, and chat. And if the therapist you try out isn't a good fit for you, BetterHelp makes it easy to switch to another one, which makes it easier to eventually find a therapist that does fit your needs. And because of the quality of therapy and all the other features that they offer, BetterHelp is one of the more widely used online platforms for therapy. And that brings me to the plans and pricing of BetterHelp. So BetterHelp charges around $65 to $90 for each session, which typically lasts around 45 minutes. But there's no strict timers, so if your session goes on for a bit longer, it's usually fine. Now, let's say if you choose to have one session every week, it'll cost you anywhere from $240 to $360 a month, depending on things like your location, the availability of the therapist you want, and the specific type of therapy that you need. And that's still super affordable compared to in-person therapy, because generally, in-person therapy costs a lot more. I mean, think about it. there are a bunch of overhead costs associated with running an office, whereas online therapists won't have those costs. So in almost all cases, you'd probably be able to save a bit of money by going with online therapy as opposed to in-person therapy. Also, if for whatever reason you decide that you don't need therapy anymore, it's really easy to cancel your subscription. And something that I really like is that they give you the option to message your therapist at any time without having to pay any extra, which gives you the flexibility to reach out when you have any questions, or feeling like you need to vent, or whatever reason it is. It also helps your relationship with your therapist, so that way, you get to know each other and feel more comfortable during your therapy sessions, which can make a huge difference in the outcome of your therapy. But keep in mind that they're people after all, and usually they're busy, so don't expect them to get back to you right away. Also, you can join in on live webinars on a bunch of different mental health issues. And look, all these extra benefits are probably not available with in-person therapists, and if they are, you'd probably have to pay extra. Okay, so let's move on to the downsides of BetterHelp that I found, because no service is perfect. Firstly, BetterHelp doesn't offer psychiatric services, so they can't prescribe medication. So if you need medication, Talkspace might be a better option for you, even though it might cost a bit more. But BetterHelp is really good for standard therapy and makes getting help pretty easy. And another negative that I found was that depending on the therapist that you choose, you might not be able to schedule a session ahead of time, at the same time every week. You sort of have to take the sessions as they come, which can be a bit bothersome to people who really value and need their routine. But I just want to reiterate that this is not the case with every therapist on BetterHelp. Now, in terms of their extra features and the experience I had, I really like that they have group sessions because they create a sense of community, allowing people to both give and receive support and learn from each other's experiences. And I'll also add to that all their therapists are qualified and have at least 3 years of experience actually practicing therapy, which means that no matter which therapist you get matched with, you know that he or she is qualified. Okay, so that about wraps up this review of BetterHelp, and I hope it was helpful for you. So now to the big question, would I recommend BetterHelp or not? Well, I absolutely would. Out of all of my research, it stood out as one of the best services out there. The cost is reasonable and it comes with some really cool extra services and features. And I really appreciated how simple their website was to schedule appointments and use. And the fact that they're all very professional and pay attention to your needs and problems made me feel so much better. And with a little work, you can build a solid connection with your therapist. And if you feel the need for a change, you can easily switch to a new therapist. And if you want in-person therapy, finding a decent therapist with availability around you might take weeks or even months. But because it's online, it makes finding a good therapist easier because there's so much more to choose from and work with. Anyway, that sums up my honest review of BetterHelp, and I hope that it's given you a better idea of what BetterHelp strives for. And look guys, it's really important to take your mental health seriously, and if you believe that you'd benefit from therapy, you should pull the trigger on it as soon as possible. Because once serious depression or something else has taken hold and becomes the norm, it can be very hard to get over it. So addressing the symptoms early on can make a huge difference. And again, if you're interested in BetterHelp, they gave me a link that gives my viewers a bit of a discount that you won't find by going straight to their website, which I left in the description down below. So make sure to check it out. So that's it for today's video. If you liked it or found it useful, make sure to like the video and subscribe to see more reviews like this one. And if you have any questions or suggestions, don't hesitate to leave them in the comments, and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Other than that, thank you so much for watching and have a great day.